Hey everyone, welcome to a Let Me Know How It Is Extra. I'm Zach Slater.
I'm Frank Melman.
This is Tommy Smithereens.
And I'm Clifton.
So today we are reacting to the first clip for the new Animaniacs relaunch set to debut on Hulu November 20th. This clip was released as part of New York Comic Con. So what did you guys think?
It was a shock to me because I didn't expect to even want it.
It was a shock to me because I forgot they were making it.
Yeah, this was announced a while
They
ago.
announced it like years ago.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke. I didn't think of, I thought it was going to, stop in pre-production and be like, oh, this is exhausting.
Right.
Like, the people write in and request this, or like Spielberg says, I have money, I have time to blow. What's that thing I wanted to do?
That's a popular franchise.
Yeah, it's still something people talk about at times. I would like to say that maybe DuckTales had a hand in it, but I think actually the announcement that it came back might have predated DuckTales premiere, possibly. But like Clifton said, I mean, this is something that they talked about a while ago, and I kind of forgot about it, and then I heard some kind of news spring up again for it again, and then I forgot about it, and then this came out, and now I'm excited because I'm impressed at how much, at least judging from this clip alone, like how much it feels like the original.
Right.
Yeah. I'm surprised he parodied himself in the way he did, Spielberg.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of times when you get sometimes these shows that come back from being off the air for, in some cases, decades and stuff like that, I think that a lot of times it can smell different. They can make changes to it and everything. And I think what's cool is that this one is like really riding an interesting line where like it is an updated look, but it looks very close to the original, right? There's actually like a really good article on Cartoon Brew that we'll put up on letmeknowhowitis.com that talks to the creators about the look of the show and how you'll see some before and afters of original backgrounds compared to like the new backgrounds and stuff like that. So there's like Acme Labs on there for the Pinky and the Brain stuff and some alternate designs. I mean, there is a possibility that this show easily could have looked very different. And there's some designs that are really inspired by more of like the Disney Mickey Mouse shorts, if you've seen those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my main interest is, I mean, the animation is great, and I'm glad they're able to keep up and maintain it. But my main question is the comedy. I mean, 90s comedy, at that point, Animaniacs was edgy. I can only imagine comedy as it's seen now through cartoons. How edgy is this going to be?
Yeah, tough to tell. I don't know. Who knows based off of this one clip, right? Like, I would like to know who wrote this clip, to be perfectly honest, like who wrote this little sketch as part of it. I did do some research, and it does appear that, surprisingly, there's no originals attached to this outside of voices, right? Like we're getting the original voices back and stuff like that. But as far as like writers and producers and showrunners, nobody's coming back.
They're probably too expensive to get back at this point.
This is going to be, let me consult my notes really quick. This is going to be, the showrunner for this is a guy named Wesley Wild, who he was the creator of a sitcom called Dads with Seth Green and Giovanni Ribisi. But he is much more well known because he is a close collaborator with Seth MacFarlane. So he was a producer on Family Guy. He's a producer on The Orville. He wrote for those shows. He co-wrote Ted and A Million Ways to Die in the West, which he also produced. So this is the guy running the show.
So that's the type of comedy we're going to get.
Well, who knows? I don't know. Like I said, I mean, it like from that first clip, that feels like the 90s show to me.
Yeah.
Like top to bottom. That's like the exact humor.
My only complaint was they didn't put Pinky and the Brain in it. They just mentioned them. I would love to see a cameo, even a voice or something.
Were they mentioned when they first announced this a couple of years ago, or whenever it was the announcement was made that Pinky and the Brain was coming back too, or just the Animaniacs?
No, they said that Pinky and the Brain were going to be a part of it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I guess I hadn't heard that. So
yeah,
I assume all the bits are going to be part of it.
I was more excited about Pinky and the Brain. I've never been a huge I was never a huge Animaniacs person. I like the Pinky and the Brain stuff that I've seen, but overall, I was kind of, I get the nod to Spielberg and it's cute and all, but I was kind of underwhelmed by the preview. Didn't really do a whole lot for me.
You're not excited to hear a new version of the Geography song?
Not really, no. Not so
There's
much.
lots of new countries since the 90s.
Yeah,
they got to update it.
Yeah.
They got Czech Republic now instead of Czechoslovakia. They got to work that in there. So this didn't work for you at all.
No, I mean, like I said, I think when I initially saw the imagery of Sam Neill and what's her name?
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern, thank you. When I saw that, I think my response to you was Avatar too soon? Well, I mean, that was like we're going back to the. I mean, granted, I understand Jurassic Park's still a thing, but to go that far back, I was kind of like, I guess it's a thing we could do, but it's Spielberg, and I get that, but I only just watched this before we started recording. Watched the teaser, but yeah, I don't know. I was kind of like, and if Animax didn't come back, I wouldn't be upset. If it stayed away, I wouldn't. Either way, I'm kind of like, I'm not really. I don't think I'd even watch it, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
Yeah, reaching back for humor is a very Animaniacs thing because there's like Marx Brothers references, like
right?
Beatles references, like Jerry Lewis references. That's what they're about. So I mean, going back to Jurassic Park's kind of on brand for it.
Okay, because I mean, I get the idea of where it's coming from, and I understand the idea of I think more along the lines of I kind of like the stuff that's come out of it. Like I like Pinky and the Brain, and like Freakazoid's out of that too, right?
Not really.
No, just some of the same creators.
Okay,
yeah, it had a lot of the same people attached.
Okay,
yeah,
that might be what I think it is. Okay, that stuff I love, but I'm not a huge. I was never a huge, particular them.
Paul Rugg, the creator of Freakazoid and the voice of him, was a staff writer on Animaniacs, and he was also one of them that said that, like, no, they haven't asked me to come back for it. And Sherry Stoner's another one that was apparently is not attached to it. She was a writer, but she's an interesting one too because she was the voice of Slappy Squirrel.
Okay.
Also, so I don't know, like, are they not doing that character? I have no idea. Going back to the Spielberg stuff though, I mean, like, I think the setup is elegant. Right? Like I think that, it is the scene from the movie kind of top to bottom with, the Animaniacs filter put on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think there's a practicality reason for it, right? That like it is a Spielberg show.
Sure.
So they're referencing a Spielberg movie, which, I mean, it's Amblin. So I assume that they have the rights to use like the music and stuff like that, which we heard in the back, which I don't think this gag works if you don't have like the theme in the back to sell it,
Mm.
It might be something similar to DuckTales in which they're bringing in a whole new staff of voices in order to depict the same characters.
Right. And I think also like Frank, like you brought up Avatar. Like, I mean, like, I don't know that there's a scene in Avatar that has become iconic like this anymore.
No, I'm just saying, I said, my thing was more along the lines of it just seemed like it was going back a ways to something that, I mean, I understand we have Jurassic Park movies every couple of years or whatever, but I just felt like it was something that was, it seems like if you're trying to get someone from today to go back to the oldest Jurassic Park there is, I was like, okay, I guess.
Right.
That was my only take was just, well, I guess you could do that, but it's not something that,
like it's dated right out of the gate.
Yeah, exactly. Like the first thing you've had after, how long's it been gone?
20 years.
20 years?
Yeah, after 2 decades, the first thing you're going to do is reference a movie that came out around the same time.
Right.
It's not, I mean, and the other thing is if now that you've told me more and it's going to be a situation where it's not even the original creators, why wouldn't you say, okay, we're going to try and get the voice actors and then step forward?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing that kind of that I find interesting is that like this clip is directed at sort of the original fans right out of the gate.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah. And that I thought like, I feel like that many shows that come back after a hiatus like this, typically that wouldn't be their the thing that they would do. I think they would go after the new audience really quickly. And it is funny to me that sort of like it seemed, I guess, like a priority to like, no. It's like if you're a fan of the show, you're going to like this version too. Like it seems important that the original fans come along.
Right.
Which, especially in animation, like that's I can't think of a lot of shows that really like care about that much.
Right, but to me, it's along the lines of like whenever they try to reboot or redo the Warner Brothers cartoons, I don't expect to see caricatures of Bing Crosby or Peter Lorre like they were in the 40s. I mean, that's my thing. It's like I don't expect that if you're gonna update it, give me somebody from today. There's a million people that you could I'm sure would want to be a part of it. That's why when I saw that it was Jurassic Park, I went, okay, I get it. But at the same time, like you said, it's more of a thing of catering to people that that have it. I mean, I don't know if I could explain to a kid now. I mean, granted, it's not. I guess my thing is I haven't seen any of the more recent ones with Star-Lord. I haven't seen those Jurassic Park movies,
right?
Because my attitude usually toward Jurassic Park movies is I probably know it's going to happen.
Right.
On opening day, the things are going to go bad. So,
the park is going to work perfectly fine this time.
Yep.
Right, exactly.
No, nothing spectacular is going to happen.
No,
nothing. Yeah.
Right. But no, that's my thing is why I just was kind of, again, like I said, I was kind of underwhelmed. I'm like, well, sure, if this were 92, then awesome. You're talking about a movie that's 6 years old at that point, or 7 years old, maybe, or 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, but so what I argue with here is that I think that scene that they're spoofing has segued in the pop culture where I think even if you don't see the movie, you get what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the important thing here is that it's not to me it's not the same as making a Bing Crosby reference to me. Like it's not. I think like I doing some research for this, I sent the clip to a couple of friends of mine that have kids, and I was like, I'm curious what they think, right? Because I watched the show as a kid, but I want to know what kids today would think.
Right.
And to my surprise, he was like, well, they haven't seen Jurassic Park, but they get it. But they get it's Jurassic Park.
Okay.
They understand that.
Okay.
Right.
And but they don't. But did they ask who's the old guy and the blonde woman?
No, I just I mean, like the kids, the one was 6 and the other one was 5, and they were like the thing that got me first of all was they were like they think it's funny.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that's good because
sure.
I didn't know that this humor would work on kids, but at least on the ones that I talked to, they thought it was funny.
Okay.
And they seem to get, and like I said, and having not like they've not seen the movie ever, but they know what it's referencing.
Okay.
Oh, well, another thing too is I think we're speculating on who the audience is. It could be the audiences for us or older. I mean, we're in the time now where we get adult cartoons anyway, so it could mean that this version of Animaniacs may be just more adult. We don't know until it comes out, right?
True.
Yeah.
It could be an older incarnation of it, but to me, I just think it was the last time Spielberg had something really blockbuster-ish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started thinking about that too. Was the idea of, well, what are they going to have the big effing giant or whatever it was? Are they going to talk about that within the same conversation with the Animaniacs? I was like, well, probably not. And he really hasn't. What else has been? Trying to think what else has been Spielberg that's been, like you said, blockbuster.
Ready Player One.
I guess. I don't know.
That was not.
What else is out there?
Tommy
We're going to get
West
Side Story. West Side Story is coming out.
Tommy would tell you more about Ready Player One.
Yeah, that was not his best work.
No, that's what I remember that too. Yeah, it's not. You didn't care for it.
No, not at all.
But
love the book.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, I just think it might be for an older crowd, being that's on Hulu. It's not like they shopped it at Cartoon Network.
Right. Well, I mean, the also the fact that now that I know more about who's running it, it's probably going to skew more quote unquote adult. But
I think the thing is though, like the original had adult stuff in it. Air quote adult. What you mean? I mean, I've never had a conversation about Animaniacs where the phrase where the phrase like, there was stuff in there that I watched as a kid that completely went over my head and I didn't get until I got older is always said in every conversation I've ever had for this show. I'm not exaggerating.
Okay.
Right. And so like, to me, it seems likely that they could just be aiming at that. I may be putting too much stock in the fact that this one scene feels like the original. And you know, it's once the first episode comes out, we could be getting a striking departure in tone and in gags and jokes from what we see. That's why I was curious about who wrote this one.
Well, my thing is just the fact of like knowing that it's the guy that co-wrote Ted and, you know, A Million Ways to Die in the West and worked on, you know, The Orville. That's not always layered stuff. Like their stuff isn't layered.
Right.
It's, you know, it's over the top, in your face, and it's just, you know, or it's a gag that goes on way too long. Right? That's what Family Guy is known for. That's not it's not subtle. They don't have layers. There's not depth to it. So when you tell me that you know, the Animaniacs stuff is known for that, and there's, you know, stuff that you would get as an adult watching it as opposed to a kid. I mean, I've seen memes and stuff about Animaniacs where, you know, that kind of thing happens, but I'm not trying to be down and dump on everybody's parade. It's just sort of, you know, I wasn't enthused to begin with. And now that you told me it's from a guy, and again, I say this as someone who enjoys The Orville and watched plenty of Family Guy, I'm still kind of like, oh, well, I don't know how good a fit it's going to be to have this show that was, you know, supposedly, you know, a layered bit of humor for, you know, I mean, like, to me, it reminds me, like, again, of the old Warner Brothers stuff that you would have. I mean, there was stuff in that wasn't always for kids because it wasn't shown originally. It wasn't always shown to kids. No, it wasn't made with kids in mind. Right. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying is one of those things. But I just don't think, if you told me tomorrow that this guy and Seth MacFarlane were being handled the Warner Brothers characters to do a brand new Looney Tunes, I'd be like, I don't think that's a good idea. I wouldn't disagree with you on that because you said and Seth MacFarlane, and I don't know enough about this guy and what he brings to the table necessarily. I don't know how much of what we come to know as a Seth MacFarlane show or property is really this guy's voice. Right. I don't know that at all. I mean, from what I could tell, I'm saying it too much, but from this like 1 minute clip, tonally to me, this is very much the show that was 20 years ago. Okay. And so that brings up to me, it's making me go like, it's not the original guys, but I don't know that we need the original guys necessarily. Anytime, I think when you revive stuff and you don't at least try to bring in the people that were there in the room, it loses something generally. Right. You know, I just think, and again, I'm not saying that the guy is, you know, he's a Seth MacFarlane clone and that everything, but I've seen both Teds, you know, I've seen all the Orville, you know, it's not too far removed from, you know, if you close your eyes and you listen to it, you could say, oh, I could see the guy that wrote Family Guy wrote this too. You know, that's my thing. And again, I'm not, you know, they may walk the line pretty well and make it edgy, you know, humor. Like Tommy was saying, they may walk up to the edge. But Family Guy doesn't understand the edge, and a lot of times their stuff goes on too long. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen here. Right. Okay. Really quick, in a word, are we excited or not excited for it? Go around. Frank, I'll start with you. Whelmed. I'm totally whelmed. Whelmed. Tommy.
It's only a minute. I have to see like 10 minutes before I can judge it. But I agree with Frank. And to me, but it needs more for me to figure out where's it going to be. So, okay, Clifton.
No, I'm definitely going to check it out once it gets to Hulu, whenever that is, and I'm looking forward to some Chicken Boo skits.
There we go. Good idea, bad idea. I'm excited about it. I wasn't necessarily excited to hear it was going to come back, but now seeing this, I'm in. I'm all in. I'll at least check it out. So. All right, so there we go. So tell us what you guys thought in the comments. Please remember to like us and follow us on social media. And please also don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.